Good afternoon. I'm Lawrence Pierce Durant. My name and how to get a hold of me should be on the bottom of this screen. This is the second installment of a series of 5 that are dealing with major gift programs for small and medium-sized nonprofits. Our first session that I had a week or so ago on YouTube was Do We Really Need a Major Gift Program? And today we're going to turn our attention to how do you develop a case for support for a major gift program for your organization. And we're going to work through and see what difference it makes on how you do that. Now see if this fits you at all. When I come into organizations and I ask to see their case for support, often what I will hear is we have a draft of our case. It was done by staff or a grant writer or someone. It's probably pretty well done. It was taken to the board. The board was asked to look at it. They did. They were asked to approve it. They did. And they voted on it and often unanimously approved it and put it aside. That was the end of it. You have a case on file, but you don't have buy-in or ownership. And the reason you need buy-in or ownership with major gift programs is that helps to motivate them to make major gifts, not when they're just handed a case for support. So how do we go about doing this? Get ownership. I want to first note to you an adage that is true in fundraising in my world. Developing your case for support should be board-led and staff-supported, not the other way around. That's easy enough for me to say, but how do you make that happen? I'm going to give you a way that I've seen it work with a number of organizations and see if it fits for you or some modification does. You bring together for a half-day session or half-day plus session, and the purpose of the session is to look at and examine the future of the organization. And you invite your board, they are the host. You have key senior staff and other stakeholders, especially major gift donors and major gift prospects. And now you've got a big group together. What I suggest to you in the first instance is that you break them into small groups. That way everybody will participate. And when you got them broken into small groups, pose this as the first question. If your organization were to disappear tomorrow, what difference would it make, if any, to the community you purport to serve? There's no right or wrong answer to that. Ask the groups to write down what their thoughts are individually. Write them down. Then bring them back together once they've had time to do that and have them report out so everybody can hear what everybody else said. Have a staff person making close, clear notes of what's gone on and watch for the threads that come through, the common issues, etc. Then send them back into their small groups again and ask them to address this. We want for our organization for you to come up with "we believe that" statements. We believe that no child should go to bed hungry. We believe that every person deserves a hot meal a day. Whatever it is you believe. And each group should come up with, I would say, based on my experience, 3, 4, 5 "we believe that" statements. Again, there's no right or wrong answer. You just get the input. Then bring back everybody together and have them report out. And again, the staff person take notes. At this point, you want to take a bit of a break. And the staff person or two know that they now will go away, take the information that's been presented, and put it into some logical form on why you should exist, what would happen if you disappeared, what are key believe that statements. Then come back after your break, present that to the group, put it up on flip charts, have it printed out, etc., however you want to do it, and ask people for comments, input. Does this accurately reflect where we are? That's the end of what you're going to do for that day. That takes a while to get through. You may have other work you're going to do, but on your case, that's what you're going to end up with. And then the staff should be charged to go out and pull together a draft of their case. And then to share that back with the group at a later date. And you have the makings in a framework for a vision for the future based on what this group's done. And now the staff can put in the needs we have, what kind of money we need to make this come about, etc., etc. Then I would suggest the staff, through the chief executive, Send that out to everybody who participated, this draft you have, and let them comment back to you individually. And I won't go into it here, but I suggest doing that in writing. Don't bring them back as a group to critique that, but let them comment on the draft that you've done, and then you tidy that up. And then take on board the common issues and concerns people have. You now have a draft of a case, and you have some ownership and some buy-in. And by buy-in, I mean these people will step up, and they're more likely to make significant gifts because they've been a part of coming up with what are going to be the issues in the direction of the organization. Some boards feel threatened by this because they feel like it's a board responsibility. And my comment to that is, if you're going to pay for everything, that's fine. But if you need others to step up and make significant commitments, they need to be able to have a piece of the action, so to speak. So what do you do now? Once you have this and you've got a draft, I think you've got the makings of how you put together a case. Your case then can be used in brochures, it can be used in videos, it can be used in social media, etc. But you've got a working, viable case for support. Now, what I suggest to you for homework out of this session is that you go back, take a look at what you have for a case. How did it come about? Chief executive and board chair talk to each other. Is there real buy-in? Is there ownership? Will board members and key prospects step up and financially support this with meaningful gifts? If the answer is yes, fine. If the answer is we don't know or we're really doubtful, then you need to do something about that. And you can either take on perhaps a little exercise like I've mentioned, the workshop, half-day workshop type thing, or something else that fits you better. But the answer is not, I don't like what Lawrence presented and we're not going to do anything. The answer is, we don't like necessarily what we saw on YouTube, but here's what we're going to do instead. And at that stage of the game, you'll have a chance to pull together a case that makes sense that people can buy into. Maybe you don't have a case for support. You still have to go through the same kind of exercise. So at the end of the day, what you have, hopefully, is a case that's vibrant, alive, it's clear, it's compelling, and it's ready to be supported by your major donors. I hope this is helpful. Now, next week, we're going to turn to another topic. I have to take a peek what that is. We're going to focus on the question or comment I get from organizations. Look, we haven't focused much on major gifts in the past. We even doubt whether we have any major gift prospects, much less donors. How do we find major gift prospects and turn them into donors? But how do we find them in the first instance? That's it for the day. Have a great day. Thanks.